Here are 10 signs you're settling in a relationship, even if it looks fine on the surface. Most men don't realize they're settling until they've already lost years. They stay because it's comfortable, not because it's right. But let me make this clear. You settle when there's no real chemistry or compatibility. You might find her attractive, but your values don't align, or you align mentally, but there's no spark. Either way, that relationship is a ticking time bomb. So here it is. Here are the 10 signs you're settling and don't even realize it. And if you'd like to learn more about what I teach, I'll leave links down below to my school community and to my website. Number 1. The first sign that you're settling in a relationship is you're not physically attracted to her anymore. Perhaps it started off okay, but now that spark is gone. What you've come to realize is she's not your type. For example, let's say you're a blonde guy with blue eyes and you know deep down you wanted to be with a blonde woman with blue eyes, but you found yourself dating a brunette or a girl of a completely different ethnicity, and now that time has gone by, you can't really look at her with excitement. You have to try to convince yourself to be excited by her. If the chemistry is off, no amount of loyalty will fix it. Physical attraction matters and it must be mutual. It's also not fair for the girl if she thinks you're a 10 out of 10 and you think she's a 3. It has to be mutual, guys. Pretending it doesn't will eat at you over time. So if you spent a long time with a woman, what should be happening is you should be even more attracted to her. That's what happens when you're with your dream woman and you're her type and she's your type. But if you're not physically attracted to her anymore, then the reason is because she's not your type. Number 2, the second sign that you're settling is you constantly justify her behavior to others. Your friends have noticed a few red flags, maybe disrespect, passive aggression, or your friends or family for that matter have pulled you aside and said that you guys don't look good together as a couple. But instead of admitting they're right, you make excuses for her, even though you know deep down that they're actually right. That's not loyalty, that is fear of change. You've got uncomfortable. If you notice this pattern, people around you, people close to you, start telling you something seems off, but you kind of justify why she's not like that, but you know deep down there's something off, you're settling, and you're lying to yourself. Number 3, your values and beliefs just don't align. So this is compatibility, not chemistry. You want kids? She doesn't. You believe in masculine leadership? She believes in 50-50 relationships. You want a faith-based traditional gender role home, where the man's the head of the home, the woman's the heart of the home, and she wants to be Miss Independent Boss Babe. So attraction could have brought you both together, but shared values are what keep you aligned long term. You don't fix this with communication or time. You fix it by walking away, which is what you should have done a long time ago. A lot of guys find themselves in this bracket here. You can think she's absolutely stunning and think I'm so lucky, but as time goes by, you kind of piece everything together and realize that your beliefs, your values, your lifestyle, it's just not aligned, and you're lying to yourself by staying. But if this is coming to fruition, if these pains that you're feeling start to flash brighter and brighter, it's an obvious sign that you settled. If your values and beliefs don't align, you've got to walk away. Number 4, you stopped growing. One of our human needs, not only in our relationships but in our life, is growth. Variety, change, new stimuli, to become better, new and stronger versions of ourselves, to keep reinventing ourselves so that we can give more to those around us and to be a better person. But if you are with a woman and you notice that since having her in your life, you've stagnated, it's like you're coasting, right? If you're breaking down as a man, it's a very bad sign that you've settled for the wrong woman. Because the right woman, she's your helpmeet. She's made to support and uplift you. I'm telling you this obviously from experience. I know when I was with my exes, they just brought me down. It was terrible. But having the woman I have now in my life, she's made everything better. A good woman inspires you to make progress, to grow. She can identify your blind or weak spots. She can help you be a better man. And when you settle, you accept emotional laziness in her and in yourself. When you settle, not only do you let yourself go, which can happen to anyone, but you don't feel like you've grown as a man. You honestly feel stuck, almost trapped. So if you haven't grown, if you haven't evolved, if you haven't taken more risks in your business or career, if you haven't found that zest for life since being in this relationship, she's not the one for you. Because the right woman is going to inspire you to be more masculine. Number 5, the 5th sign that you're settled, that you're settling in a relationship, is that you fantasize or daydream about what it would be like to be single. Not because of freedom or because of intimacy, but for peace. You imagine what it would feel like to live your life again without the weight of constant friction or emotional drain. This is often a very bad sign that you're either with a woman that you're not attracted to, or you're not compatible. When you're not compatible, you want different things in life. It can lead to arguments, so many misunderstandings, a lot of drama, toxic arguments that repeat on a loop. And what happens, it erodes connection. And quite frankly, this shouldn't be happening. If you're with your dream woman and everything is aligned, you can't even remember what it's like to be single. You would rather die than be single again, because being with her makes your life so much better, right? I'm telling you guys from experience, when you have an amazing woman in your life, being with her is the best thing. You would never want to be single again. But if you're looking at your life and you're like, you know what, I'm kind of excited to be single again, you kind of find yourself thinking about it, drawn to the idea of wanting to be alone, just to get away from her, then that tells me that you've settled there, son. She obviously ain't the one for you. Number 6, you don't feel respected. She may say I love you, but deep down she doesn't follow your lead. She talks over you, makes decisions without you, challenges everything you say. Love without respect feels like manipulation with hugs. And if you're, especially in a relationship, a long-term relationship, if you've ever had any problems or issues with a good woman, you'd be able to work things out. But if it's been years and years and you still feel like she doesn't respect you, even though you're treating her right, it could be a sign of something deeper going on. Red flags. Compatibility issues on her end. If this is the case, the best choice for you is to walk. Men need respect, and if she's not giving it to you, and despite you treating her right, perhaps you just settle for her. Number 7, you avoid hard conversations. Whenever she brings up something real, like, hey, when are we going to get married? It's been 5 years, and you keep brushing it off. Hey, when are we going to move out? And you keep making excuses, shutting her down. That's not emotional maturity. That's betrayal. And what's going on here is your values are misaligned. You're giving her false hope by staying with her, but you're keeping her around because she's a sweet girl. Maybe she's not your type, and you can't imagine yourself spending your life with her, hence why you haven't moved things along. I understand some couples, may struggle when you're young financially and things may take some time to set up. But if you're avoiding hard conversations, you can't have deep conversations with her because it's uncomfortable and you're afraid it's going to make her realize that you're not serious about her, then you're betraying her. And this is completely unfair. And it's a sign that you're not with the right woman, because you should be able to talk about the hardest things. If you can't do the hard stuff, all your small talk means absolutely nothing with her. If this is the case, you're settling. The 8th sign you're settling in a relationship is you feel drained after spending time together. You see, when you're around your dream woman, spending time around her is like, it's like taking a shot of energy. It wakes you up, you're energized, you're excited, you love being around her. But when you're around a girl you settle for, or a girl who you don't really have any compatible values with, you feel like you're walking on eggshells. You feel like you're performing. You're not really building a life together. You're just managing emotional fires. Like similar how we said in the 7th sign previously, just that you avoid hard conversations, you can't really enjoy your time with her. There's just a pile of problems you both have together, and just being around her feels like the worst. And you can even pair this with situations where if you'd rather spend time with your buddies, with your friends, or be alone than be with her, she's not your dream woman. Because the more time that goes on in a relationship, if you both really love each other, you're both going to be drawn to each other like a moth to a flame. But in this case, the flame isn't a fire, it's love, it's warmth, it's connection. And you would both deeply cherish spending time together. If you don't feel emotionally energized when you're together and you don't miss her when she's not there, you settle for her. So please, if you're feeling drained after spending time together, time and time again, she ain't the one for you. Number 9. The 9th sign that you're settling in your relationship is you keep telling yourself that she'll change. You keep holding out hope that if you're just more patient, more understanding and more loving, she'll eventually become the woman you need. The fantasy is what's keeping you trapped. I see this often with traditional guys that get with girls that are career oriented, all her friends are hoes, and you think, I'll give her some time to make the right decision. Maybe you're a Christian and she's not. I'll give her time to get right with God. Maybe she says, I'm never going to cook for a man. And it's been 2 years and she hasn't ever cooked anything for you. Holding out on her to uphold her role and be a feminine woman is how you waste your life. This is more common when you find her really attractive, but it's just your values that are not aligned. But if you have to keep telling yourself this time and time again, it's a problem. Because the right woman for you, you wouldn't have to change her. You'd be able to accept her as she is. And last but not least, number 10. The 10th sign that you're settling in a relationship is your younger self would be disappointed. You used to have standards, you used to have a vision, you would have never accepted emotional scraps or a lukewarm connection with a woman you don't even find attractive. Settling is when you trade connection for comfort. If you wouldn't want your son to be with a woman like her, or you wouldn't want your future daughter to turn out to be just like her, you are with the wrong woman. If you are disappointed, and your younger self is disappointed in the choice you've made, that's everything you need to know. If you're not proud of this woman, she's obviously not the right one for you. So that wraps it up. My final message is this: settling isn't always loud. It's often quiet, subtle, and disguised as stability. But chemistry and compatibility both matter. Without both, you're tolerating, not thriving. So that's the end of the video, guys. And if you want to build a relationship that's aligned in values and attraction, join my school community. The link's down below. If you'd like to get more personal help from me, perhaps a coaching call session, my website is linked down below too. You can book yours. With that said, I'll see you all in the next one.